I'm done messing around with you. I'm done messing around with you. So what is that? It's 3-2 now, right?
No, I was up.
No, it was 2-2.
That was 2-2. You're right.
It was 2-2. Now it's 3-2, right?
3-2.
All right.
Come back. I'm coming back.
All right.
One stop, baby.
That's all I need is a 3. That's all I need. I'm under. Hey, Trey. Middle, pick and roll. Drop. You got Shaq. Hey, good luck with that.
That's outstanding. You know, you rarely get to see the human side of Tim Duncan, but having played with him for 4 years, I can tell you he has a very dry wit, an outstanding sense of humor. He just doesn't like to share it with the world. He's a private guy, but behind the scenes, hilarious and a wonderful teammate.
Forget about the regular game. It's those one-on-one confrontations during warm-ups that the guys really get heated up.
Hey, you know, those go on all season long. Most guys have one guy that they share that partnership with before games. They'll play a little one-on-one, gives them a chance to loosen up a little bit.
All right, let's go over to Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Paul Gasol has been bothered by a viral infection. He's been in bed all weekend. In fact, did not go to practice yesterday. He told me that his coach, Mike Fratello, called him, said, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, not being able to have fun, taking advantage of this great honor, but get your rest, because remember, Monday we have practice. He then said that he called Avery Johnson and said, listen, Paul Gasol's not feeling too well. If you don't want to play him very minutes, it's fine with me because he's not feeling too good.
Always a compassionate guy, this Mike Fratello.
Well, Avery Johnson said he was going to play Elton Brand till he dropped today because that's their first game back. So coach is always scheming for that next game and the advantage.
Well, they're all worried, too, about somebody getting hurt. We saw Brad Miller a couple of years ago sprain his ankle, and that really threw Sacramento off for the next 3 weeks or so.
Shot clock is actually down to 2 as Ben Wallace tried the reverse, and here comes Sean Marion. Gasol is up front with Garnett and Nowitzki. Marion and Parker at the guard position. Garnett over Pierce. West up by 2 as we come up on a minute remaining in this first quarter. Marv Albert along with 4-time NBA All-Star Doug Collins as Rasheed Wallace shoots way off on that three-point attempt. That was with the left hand.
We saw him do that yesterday during the All-Star practice from half court. You talk about strength and touch. Amazing that Rasheed can do that. Ball goes back to the West squad. And Flip Saunders told us before the game, Rasheed made 10 threes in succession recently at a Piston practice with his left hand.
I was about to say, along with Doug Collins and Steve Kerr, a member of the San Antonio Spurs Shooting Stars competition winning team last night. Not enough about Steve Kerr.
It's an emotional moment, guys, but you know, something that I will cherish forever.
Well, Steve hit a three-point shot and was walking off and thought all the cheers for him. Tony Parker hit a half-court shot before Steve could even look up.
That clinched it. And here's Pierce. Gasol with the rebound on the box out. Here comes Parker. What a terrific season for Tony Parker. Rebound is handled by Billups.
Well, what I love about Tony Parker's game is he's become so efficient. There's Pierce. It's a nice backdoor feed for the layup. Doug, I know you talk a lot about shooting efficiency. Tony Parker at 54%. He's among the top few in the league in points in the paint. He's just figured out how to play. He knows he doesn't have to rely on outside shots. He's so quick. He can get to the rim at any time he wants.
Well, your game plan is keep him out of lane. Well, good luck. He's so fast and quick. He takes the ball wherever he wants to go.
Here's Garnett, time running out in this first quarter, draws the foul. A hack called on Billups.
Well, Chauncey Billups has really matured as a player. Here's the backdoor cut by Paul Pierce. You know, Marv talks about the 50-point game he's coming off of, but Chauncey Billups is just such a piece out there. Here's the long shot by Tony Parker at the buzzer. Billups playing in such great rhythm now, leading that Pistons team like a maestro.
Well, we've had 10 ties, including the score after one. Even at 28, Tracy McGrady leads the West, 5 of 9, 10 points. LeBron James has hit 4 of 6, including 2 threes. He has 10. Back in Houston in a moment. It is on to the second quarter here in Houston, and tonight's game being watched around the world on the American Forces Network in 176 countries and over 180 U.S. Navy, U.S. Coast Guard, and military Sea Lift Command ships at sea and in areas abroad, including Iraq and Afghanistan. Marv Albert with Steve Kerr, Doug Collins, Craig Sager, David Aldridge. There's Kevin Garnett for the West. Goes to the fadeaway on Chris Bosh and handled by Chauncey Billups. The 4 Pistons remain on the floor for the East, along with Paul Pierce of the Boston Celtics. Now Billups looks to set up against Parker. Here is Hamilton, and rebounded by Garnett. Oh, the alley-oop for Shawn Marion.
Well, Sean's used to getting that from Steve Nash. He gets about 2 or 3 of those a game, either that or from Boris Diaw. Those guys both have a nice connection. So Shawn Marion once again showing his whole package out there, running the floor defensively.
Nowitzki off that tip. And here is Nowitzki. It will count. Scored, says Dick Pavetta, and the foul.
I don't think there's ever been a player in the NBA 7 feet tall who has the type of open floor fast break abilities that Dirk Nowitzki does. Gets bumped from behind, and look at that, he switches over to the left hand while stumbling, still gets it to go.
And you know, you got to give Don Nelson a lot of credit. When he took this young guy, he made him a all-round player. He didn't put him down on the block. He recognized his skills, his ability to shoot the ball, handle the ball. What a nightmarish matchup he is out on the perimeter. And now what Avery Johnson is doing is taking it and now trying to add the low post game, that little mid post game, so they could, in the playoffs, be able to throw that ball in the block. But wins the three-point shooting competition, excellent rebounder, getting better team defensively. So Dirk Nowitzki is having a terrific year for the Mavericks.
And last night in winning the three-point shootout, became the first 7-footer to win the three-point contest. And Wallace looks to put some moves on and try to hand it off to Hamilton. Here is Hamilton with a rainbow. Now Rasheed Wallace has gone to the bench, so Flip Saunders has 3 Pistons out there right now. Over the first 8 minutes, the East committed 8 turnovers. Elton Brand of the Clippers just checked in, and it's rebounded by Pau Gasol. Here's Ray Allen of the Sonics, who just came on, and handled by Chris Bosh. Now, since the Pistons entered the game, only 1 turnover in the last 5 minutes of play, which tells you something.
Yeah, they're in a rhythm with one another. Chauncey Billups is taking care of the basketball, and they've played a very simple basketball, not trying to make the spectacular play.
Nice pass. Pierce setting it up on the hop for Billups. West is up 33-32. Nowitzki, yes. Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks. And Mavs at 41-11, best record in the Western Conference, and one of the surprises of the season.
Well, Marv, it's going to be very interesting. The second half of the season, or actually about the last 30 games, we're well past the halfway point. But I asked Avery Johnson before the game, we were talking to him, I said, are you happy that every game means so much? Because San Antonio and them are going to be fighting for that spot, that #1 seed, which would have been also home court in the second round. So he said, yeah, I am happy because we have to keep an edge about us, and we have to continue the kind of ball that's going to get us into the playoffs, and we can play well.
Pau Gasol with the rebound. Here's Nash, who just checked back in, finding Nowitzki. Well, Steve Nash, former teammate of Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas, able to team up on that beautiful pass. Gilbert Arenas of the Wizards on the floor for the first time. Now Pierce got the step. Rebound is hauled down by Gasol. Here's Allen. Nice setup for Elton Brand. And what a terrific season for Elton Brand. In fact, he's in the most valuable player conversation.
I think he's got to be in the top 3 when you consider his numbers and the fact that the Clippers have had such an outstanding season. He's right there with Steve Nash, LeBron James, Chauncey Billups. He's got to be considered in that group.
An 11-4 run by the West. led by Dirk Nowitzki, who has 7 of those 11 points.
Well, we see the pass coming from Steve Nash. As you mentioned, Doug, these guys very familiar with each other. And then Elton Brand with a nice dish from Ray Allen, the West with a 7-point lead.